Good evening. Another day to talk about things that happen for inside Nigeria, and it's always a pleasure to be with you to bring on a matter them with the shelle for inside Nigeria. Welcome to Update with Precious. Another beautiful day to give an update of things that happen for inside our country. We'll be very quick this evening. So it don't happen again for inside Benin Republic, just like it don't happen for some countries. So inside South, Sahara Africa, Sub-Sahara Africa, it don't happen for Benin Republic. We woke up to the news of an ongoing coup in Benin Republic today. And before the day don't go down, that thing don't turn to an entirely different drama when Nigeria even had to send fighter jets to Benin Republic. And people don't notice or experience a few airstrikes and bomb blasts here and there for inside Benin Republic, which some people they credit to say are from here or from there. Well, all of this was now want to talk about. Plus, people don't talk, say, wait, excuse me. How can African leaders be such a stooge? That's what some people are saying, and I'll bring you evidences to that conversation. Well, I could just go straight down to the headlines and before we go start to talk now, because Prince Francis Chilakade stand by, they wait for us to put smart. He cannot wait to say his mind on all of these conversations. Let's begin with latest about the coup as ECOWAS don't deploy regional standby force to Benin Republic. And then we go on Benin Republic government arrests soldiers over coup attempts. And then Tinubu government deploys fighter aircraft to Benin Republic amid military coup. And coup President Talon they said the President Talon they save army regaining control. Benin government now they talk this one. And then ECOWAS decries Benin Republic's military coup. Even AU also do the same thing. But we can't hear say explosions reportedly rock Tignon barracks as coup plotters attempt escape in Benin Republic. And then Benin Republic coup leader Colonel Pascal Tigre reportedly on the run. Tinubu presidency. Now in the talk this one. And then coup on the way in Benin Republic. Maybe the story will be say we get to hear this morning when we wake up as military attacks President Talon's residence, seizes national television, and even make broadcast. And then President Talon Safia made attempted coup in Benin Republic. They say President Talon they safe because of waiting they happen. I think I've said that to us before. Okay, these are all the drama we get to happen, and then people don't blame Nigerian government for even attempting to send an airstrike, to Benin Republic. And David Hundeyin practically don't raise alarm over the danger of daring to strike your neighbor because of such incidents. We will talk about all of that, but let's get to internal issues. As Ibi say, they don't reveal the truth behind Oga Badaru's shock resignation as defense minister. Waiting be that reason, we go let you know. But we see they get our own drama here because the representatives or people from delegation from the United States visit Nigeria to come carry their own Kurukuru IC waiting they happen as they talk about the Christian genocide for inside Nigeria. US delegation led by Riley Moore, that is Congressman Riley Moore, visits Nigeria on fact-finding mission, begins with Benue after Governor Alia publicly denied Christian genocide claims and all that. We'll get to that. Okay, all right. Let's see. Ex-British Prime Minister John Johnson under fire for downplaying Nigeria's security situation. That one said day for one corner. Oh, Oga Shetima, Vice President, don't depart Abuja for Alassane Ouattara's inauguration for inside Abidjan. That one said day. And U.S. House Appropriations Committee say Nigeria rapidly turning one of most dangerous places on earth to follow Christ. That's written in said in the talk. And then we move on to other issues as 4 travelers abducted in broad daylight by bandits in Kogi's Yagba East. And then, of course, Nigerian Air Chief visits pilots who safely ejected during Niger State's jet emergency and praises the bravery of gallant officers. That one did for Grande so. And then, moving on, Nigerian condemns failed coup attempt, of course, in Benin Republic. Backs President Talon. Nigeria's declining regional influence, fueling coup in West Africa, says activist. Our influence the decline for West Africa. Nigeria withdraws deployed fighter jets as Benin stabilizes after failed coup attempt. Sorry about how staggered the headlines and they have been, busy and Had to do this very quickly. Bandits attack Sokoto community, leave multiple people dead, several others injured. That one said D for grand there. And then moving on to other issues, IPOB declares Southeast Nigeria safe for Christmas. Calls on Igbo people at home and abroad to visit. So I'm not gonna come. Southeast is safe, nothing will happen. Namdekano's new neighbors speak on unusual prisoner in Sokoto. And then again, revealed how Abuja street names are allegedly sold for 35 million naira through private accounts. You don't understand. For you to get streets after your name, 35M, and another person account they enter, human being account. Okay, now. Okay, all right, let's go on. Ritomi suggests use of drones to monitor Nigeria's highways. That's part of Tony. Governor Puebla's comment on North reveals conspiracy theory. ADC, and they talk that one. 2027 article visits Jonathan in Abuja. Betrayal. You know what happens when you disqualify people like us. Omishere draws battle. That is Omishere draws battle line with APC over Russian primary disqualification. Senator Siraki Dixon accuses APC of politicizing corruption, terrorism, other serious national issues. Yep. All right. And then 16, this is an exclusive by Sahara Reporters, how 16.5 billion naira Taraba Bridge reconstruction funds were allegedly diverted to access road. Tinubu's minister faces scrutiny, according to them. Now, French President Macron pledges full support for Tinubu as Nigeria battles rising terror threat. US arrests Nigeria Adiremi Akafe, convicted of cocaine trafficking, labels him worst criminal, illegal alien. And so he left them level up. And then moving on, ADC to Peter Obi, make up your mind now. We need the zone go anywhere. So if you want to join us, join us. If you need to join us, make you go rest. Make up your mind now or pronoun if you don't say you won't join us. Well, all of this matter and more might be so we will look at this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure. Joining us in the studio is Prince Francis Chilaka. Sunday and Friday. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Sincere apologies for bringing you out so late. But
Precious, you know that you are doing what you are doing now is nothing other than a coup.
hey,
Eh?
what did I do,
You
sir?
know that Benin
How?
Republic just did their own, and you're doing your own.
They say you know this success. So how did I do commit it? How did I conduct the coup?
You know what time it is?
I'm sorry, sir. I beg
It's
you.
a
I
coup now.
apologize. Sincere
Yes, it's
apology.
a coup. So
Please
the
forgive
apology
me.
will send. I'll send my jet fighters to determine how
No,
the
no,
apology will be
no, no,
accepted.
no, no send jet fighters. Just tell me to send you some keg of palm wine from Undoki Kingdom. It's
No,
okay.
Ndoki they do Ndoki. When una been get expatriate, una know wetin dey call am when.
No, only no Undoki dey
Now
plenty
when una come
places.
even get when una come get to the governor when they bring am back, he say na by the grace and glory of Bala Tinubu that is still a governor. He no dey shame.
Can we
That
just have
man
a
is shameless.
conversation without you throwing a jab at River State, please,
That man is
sir?
that man people have their fubara or pabura or whatever. He's shameless.
That's
I
not
beg,
fair, sir.
we'll
That's our
continue.
governor, sir. Okay.
That I know him.
Mm.
I know him. They go soon impeach him. They watch now. You go talk something, I be
Eh.
talking for your phone. They
All
watch.
right, sir. So let's get straight to the business of the day. So now we hear that reports from Benin's media indicate that a coup d'etat, we woke up to that was going on unfolding in Cotonou since dawn on Sunday, December 7th, 2025. Today, now, according to media alerts, that was the story we woke up with, or media outlet Chad One, President Patrice Talon's residence in the Logueze neighborhood was attacked by a group of military personnel led by Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tigre. Later in the morning, Lieutenant Colonel Tigre appeared on national television, which is reported to be under military control, declaring himself chairman of the Military Reestablishment Committee. The situation in the capital remains extremely volatile, with reports of troop movements at several strategic locations across Cotonou. That was the story we got earlier today. Now, was no official statement at that time from President Talon. West Africa has been, of course, dealing with all of this. I mean, we remember what happened for Guinea-Bissau, where Ibi say, we hear say there was a coup in Guinea-Bissau. At the end of the day, our own former president, Goodluck Jonathan, we covered that coup, get to tell us, say, no, it wasn't a coup. that it was because the sitting president was losing the election or had lost landslide to the opposition. So what did he do? He called on the military to come and take over so that he could do like say Naku. And then with this Benin Republic, and of course, we had a couple of news too that this particular president has been there, and then he did da 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 da, and there's an accusation of trying to change the constitution to keep him longer, and a part of waiting lead to the agitation of the coup. Make I take your thought before we look at other developing stories concerning that. Now, how did you feel waking up to this conversation just for our backyard here? Now, our backyard here, 9 day. How did you feel waking up to that conversation, sir?
You see, when I heard it this morning, the only thing that came to mind is that President Tinubu should also watch his back. When you become a leader and you begin to tinker with the constitution of the country, and that constitution you are tinkering with begins to, drive everybody into one party state, then you have a problem. And this has been a big problem with African leaders. It's been a very big problem with African leaders, without exception of Nigeria.
No, but our constitution was not touched to tilt it.
I am coming, precious, calm down now.
Okay, sir. Sorry,
Look at what is happening in Nigeria. We're gradually gliding into one party state. Everybody wakes up from sleep. Some of them wake up, maybe their wife beat them in the night, and then they wake up, they say it's APC. Some will go to a club, get drunk in the morning, they declare for APC. Some who cannot even add value, who have never added value to the lives of the citizens of their states, despite the humongous amount that they're getting on a monthly basis, they're going for APC. Whether you amend the Nigerian constitution or not, the signs are very obvious. Don't forget that when Talon became president in 2016, I believe, between 2016 and 2019, he amended the constitution. The constitution was amended in such a way that it restricted too many parties from contesting presidential election. They even added a clause which says that you must, before you contest, I think about 15 or 18 representatives must endorse you. When you know that everybody from all the representatives, as they call them, belong to him. They belong to, his government. They pay homage to his government. So in other words, it's obvious that he didn't want anybody to contest the election. Now he's on his last lap, which I think will expire next year. And there is rumor that he wants to tinker with the constitution to keep him there.
So now waiting to cause this wahala.
Yes, that is part of the rumor we're getting. See, no less than 7 African leaders, 7 African leaders have held on to power for almost 240-something years. Is that not embarrassing?
For 40-something years or 240-something years?
200 something. I'll give you the details.
Okay. That is combined. Okay, sir.
Combined.
All right, sir. Okay.
Now, you have Museveni of Uganda, 37 years. I hope you're adding it up.
Yes,
you
sir.
have Mbasongo of Equatorial Guinea, 44 years. You have Paul Biya of Cameroon, 48 years. You have Nguso of Republic of Congo for 38 years. You have Issa Afeki of Eritrea for 30 years. You have Paul Kagame of Rwanda. This is 23 years going. You have Ismail Omar Gula of Djibouti, 24 years.
Oh, by the way, he's contesting again too.
Good, all of them added, it's already 244 years. 244 years. African leaders, yet they have nothing to show for their being in power. Poverty, hunger, insecurity, corruption, it's on the trail. And then you ask, what is wrong with African leaders? Why do African leaders like to sit? They just want to sit tight, holding on to power. And then you have ECOWAS that claims to have a regional military and regional power, talking about economic development. What development have ECOWAS brought to any of these African countries? But then they are quick to respond. Your President Bola Tinubu, was quick to send aircraft, fighter jets. I heard they've even deployed ECOWAS military.
Yes,
why?
Because
they are all in support of these sit-tight leaders. ECOWAS as an organization has never questioned the corruption of African leaders. Rather, they support them. That was why Mali,
Burkina Faso and Niger
and Burkina Faso said, go to hell. If you recall, when it happened in Niger Republic, your president wanted to go to war. He forgot at that point in time that Niger is a sovereign country. He's also forgetting now that Benin is a sovereign nation. But he feels that America should recognize the sovereignty of Nigeria. Double standard. So your leader feels, your president feels, oh, he's the master strategist. He knows it all. You can wake up and go into the airspace of another country. But you feel that no other country should enter your airspace. The same madness your former president did, your late president, your stupid, hopeless late president Buhari did, when he went to Kenya and kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria.
Sir, language, sir.
That is the kind of leaders you have in Africa. Leaders who have no respect for anybody. This man, this president of Benin Republic, don't forget, do you know how many journalists has been locked up? Do you know how many TV stations, private, have been closed down? Because he does not want anyone to criticize him. So, and then you feel that, oh, you are the best thing to happen to the country. When it comes to election, you will look for a way to rig the election to remain in power. And it will shock you also to know that, in the span of how many years, 56 heads of state relinquished power in Africa, out of which 9 died in the office. They don't want to go. Then they're sick. They're not old. Come out. They don't want to come out. Allow the younger generation to take over. No, until they die there. And every day we wake up, we say, our youths are leaders of tomorrow. And that tomorrow never comes. Because the old men who have lost every sense of reasoning, who do not understand what 21st century governance is all about, will not give way for the younger generation to come to power. And 13 of them stepped aside when the coup struck. So that is to show you that Africa, we keep talking about Africa, Africa, Africa. And anytime you mention Africa, the first thing that comes to the lips of anyone is resources. We have mineral resources. We have mineral resources. But you have mineral resources that you cannot use to better the life of your people. I didn't know your president could actually deploy fighter jets to Benin. Meanwhile, Nigerians are kidnapped daily. The bandits are having a field day, and you cannot deploy such jets. So we're more interested in what is happening in Benin than what is happening in Nigeria. That is the impression we're getting. Maybe APC has also plans to tinker with the constitution so that the president can continue. So the president What he's doing is protecting himself. In case it happens, Benin Republic will come and defend him. But for me, I think it's totally wrong. What our president did is totally wrong. First of all, being the commander-in-chief he does not have the power to deploy without the consent. But then, we'll talk about the consent of National Assembly. Rubber stamp, what do you expect? Tomorrow they will tell you, overnight, they will tell you that the president sent us communication and we approved immediately. See what Donald Trump has been going through in America with the Senate and the House of Rep, just because he said he wants to enter Nigeria for Christians to help avert the continued killing of Christians. You saw that a committee was set up. You see how they've been debating on it. But your president was too quick to deploy. And then tomorrow, all the minions of the government will come out and tell you, yes, he has done the right thing. But they forget. They have forgotten. Everybody has forgotten that Benin Republic is a sovereign country. That the president they didn't call for you.
But the fact that Benin Republic, whether or not Benin Republic has been attacked or was attacked or bombed by Nigerian governments, cannot be ascertained, because from waiting with the here, they just deploy fighter jets or deploy jets according to stories with ABC carrier. But now David Hundeyin, now they talk say there is every likelihood that they already started bombing those places.
Pressure,
from the news we got officially. Officially, this is that Nigeria deploys fighter jets to Benin Republic amid cool tensions.
Then there was another follow-up report that the fighter jets have been withdrawn.
Yes, because peace don't day. Peace don't day.
Why would you do that?
Why would you even send the fighter jets in the first place?
Have you forgotten that is a sovereign country? That's a sovereign nation.
Okay.
That is my argument. Have you forgotten? When Donald Trump made his tweet, what you saw a lot of Nigerians coming out to people that you have never even heard, they've never seen. Suddenly they became very patriotic.
So
suddenly they came to the same level with ordinary Nigerians. But then, when it comes to another nation, we don't remember. We do not remember international protocol. We did that well. When they did it in Kenya, nothing happened. They can do it anywhere. And that is how callous the African, especially the Nigerian leadership has become. You act before you think.
All right, so let's dissect a bit what happened for inside Benin Republic, because as it happened, the government of Benin Republic, they talk saying a failed attempt, say the president they okay. They were just able to get hold of the television station, but they no fit penetrate their government house, as it were. The government of Benin Republic also talks say they don't arrest the people that were involved for the coup, after saying some of them tried to run away or flee, but they don't arrest them, right? But initially, we also heard that there was a bomb blast for some areas for inside Benin Republic. We hear of that bomb blast, and now that period, now they begin raise the fear of say, oh, Nigeria was involved in the bomb blast. In fact, people say they see smokes, will go up because of the attack. Okay. Well, let's, as I said earlier, Benin Republic reacts to the, they said they have arrested dozens of soldiers following the failed, what they call the failed attempt. They said 13 people were said to have been detained, while all but one of the suspects are serving, they say all of them, but one of the suspects are serving soldiers. The remaining detainees is said to be a former member of the armed forces. Now, so then talk. And let me see if I can get that story and then the evidence of the video, the what they call them smoke, where we say they say begin go up, always suggest say, oh, it looks like they have bombed the place.
Okay, Precious,
Okay,
let me
sir.
quickly add this. Let me
Okay,
quickly
sir.
add this. You see what has played out in Benin Republic today, um, and the fact
Hmm.
that Nigeria, openly got involved is something that will haunt Nigeria for a long time.
Why do you think so? I'm coming
Yes.
to that too, because I'm going to come to how um David Hundeyin was able to link the Nigerian president, Tinubu, and Macron's pressure to whatever it is that has to do with the deployment of fighter jets. I was going to come to that. But let's see if we could just speak quickly to the explosion that happened, will lead to all of this. So, yes, explosion and sporadic gunfire were reported on Sunday morning at Tignon Barracks, located about 6 kilometers from Cotonou Airport, after soldiers involved in an attempted coup allegedly barricaded themselves inside the military facility, Casus Belli. An investigator, now they talk this one, I reveal them. According to Belli, local informants said several Motino's officers realizing the operation had collapsed, were seen hurriedly stripping off their uniforms and changing into civilian clothes in a desperate effort to evade arrest. So the failed takeover was reportedly led by Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tegri, who was declared head of self-styled military committee for foundation during a brief broadcast on national television early today. Now, the mutineers, that is people who call the mutineers, announced the suspension of the constitution and dissolution of President Patrice Talon's administration before the feed was abruptly cut off. So hours later, Interior Minister Alassane Seydou appeared in a recorded statement declaring the coup foiled and insisting that loyalist forces had regained control. Now, the minister assured citizens that order is being restored, though he offered no clarity on Tigre's whereabouts. Security sources told newsmen that the alleged ringleader may already be on the run. Now, despite the government's confidence, the ground situation around Tignon, Tignon remained volatile throughout the day. So they say everywhere, just like say it porous throughout the day. Excuse me. Multiple residents confirmed hearing blasts of bursts and bursts of atomic fire well into the afternoon. Others reported seeing soldiers darting through nearby streets without insignia, bags in hand, looking for informal exit routes. A group of coup leaders are said to have taken refuge and barricaded themselves in I think, at the barracks, while Lieutenant Colonel Tigre, the leader of the coup, is reportedly on the run and being hunted by the Beninese authorities, according to investigators. Now, some of the soldiers in Tignon are set to be changing into civilian uniforms. Now, so eyewitness talk. Earlier, Belly tweeted that 3 unidentified aircraft, including a military transport aircraft, were spotted on flight radar arriving in Cotonou. 2 of the identified aircraft came from Nigeria. The transport aircraft came from Ivory Coast. Now, so the person tweets. Now, the attempted coup has jolted Benin, a republic often upheld as one of the West Africa's most predictable democracies. In swift reactions, ECOWAS and of course African Union don't condemn the attack and don't say they don't follow for this kind of one at all at all. In fact, right now they don't deploy troops to go there. Now, let me get to how I think what's his name? David Hundeyin linked this to Emmanuel Macron. And I mean Emmanuel Macron tweeted earlier in the day, and then how he I think linked that to, yes, that's his tweet. He said, I spoke with President Tinubu of Nigeria. He tagged him at official bat. I conveyed France's solidarity in the face of the various security challenges, particularly the terrorist threat in the north. At his sequel, we will strengthen our partnership with the authorities and our support for the affected population. Da, 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 da. I mean, he said quite a lot here, but I don't think this is the actual tweet I'm looking for, but I'm sure I'll get that. Because David quoted the tweet and then went on to say that how can any sovereign president decide to bomb your neighbor because at the behest of another president. So he did say. Let's see if I can just get a hold of a few of the tweets that David had tweeted this evening in regards to this for a proper context. He says, so if Bola Tinubu is still president of Nigeria by the end of tomorrow, I will no longer have any objection against those who seek to dismember Nigeria. Such a country would no longer serve any purpose on this continent and will be an open danger to every African seeking freedom. So in talk. But this is not the exact tweet that connected that dot. That's T rather. I'm going to get to it very quickly. For the sake of this, I would have to source for it and then get them one at a time because it's also proper to perhaps relay some of the things that has been going on so that other people will understand. And then he further went on to say that I think Nigeria is officially over tonight. Bombing your neighbor because a white guy in Paris told you to, carrying out airstrikes against a fellow African country because Emmanuel Macron wanted you to. Only apartheid South Africa ever did something like this. It's over. Now, so say David tweet. And, David has been trending this evening because some people are saying that, oh, he's just a rumor monger or a warmonger because Nigeria didn't actually strike Benin Republic. While others are saying, so why did they send fighter jets in the first place if they didn't intend to strike? And what was the business of sending the fighter jets? I mean, here are responses from people under that tweet. We cannot fall the time. That's here are responses of some people. You can read that up of what people are saying concerning that tweet. But apart from these responses, people are genuinely worried because people actually did genuinely think that the Nigerian government not only deployed the military, but also went ahead to conduct an airstrike in Benin Republic. Let's see a few more things that he's had to say. So you said earlier that he just received a word that Nigerian army formations at the Ojo barracks in Lagos are preparing to stage an illegal invasion of Benin as soon as tonight. For the second time in 3 years, this, you can read it, wants to start a war in West Africa. SOS whoever still has a brain in Abuja, sharp, sharp, may they do something. Perhaps that's what he's trying to say. So here you see him connecting the conversation, connecting whatever airstrike or whatever people have experienced in terms of whatever bomb blast or any explosion what they don't experience for Benin Republic directly to Nigerian military. He did so. And then I think let's see again here. Here he said, okay, he went on to say a whole Nigeria now reduced to being a vessel of a country less than that size. How humiliating. I mean, that's quoting the post where Zagazaga Makola said that Zagazola Makama said that the Nigerian government has deployed troops to Benin Republic. So the question for, first of all, Moku face the coup. While Ibisi, some people they talk say the coup no they successful. That is the Benin Republic, the Benin government or Benin government. They talk say the coup no they successful. The person who Ibisi conduct the coup was seen in a video where he came out to say that, despite complaint that people are saying that the coup was not successful, that it was indeed successful, and people should disregard the announcement that it's not successful. I think he said that in Benin Republic. Let's see. Let's take a listen to
Béninoises et Béninois, bonsoir. Je suis le colonel Tigri Pascal. Depuis ce matin, nous avons lancé une opération qui consiste à libérer le peuple béninois de la dictature de Patrice Talon et des libertés qu'il a longtemps arrachées au peuple béninois. Nous vous invitons à un soutien massif de notre action et nous appelons le gouvernement français à ne pas du tout s'initier dans les affaires intérieures de notre très cher pays, la République du Bénin.
Okay, so that's it. This now the person will be saying lead the coup, winning, I think Colonel Tigri from the Benin coup attempt. He said the pressure, waiting people they talk, say the attempts to pressure, to push down the coup or say this successful, say that them see they in charge. He can't claim say Patrice Talon and the French allies and the Benin people should come out en masse to support the coup. So it can't be like say the people who plot the coup get a different message or different thing. What do they talk from the people who be say that they try take over government from? But the most important question, I say, African Union don't condemn this. ECOWAS don't condemn them. Beyond condemning this and throwing their full support, because African Union, all of them must say they throw their full support on Talon right? Beyond condemning this and supporting the government in power, will be the democratic government. What are they doing? The leaders of African Union generally they do to make sure say they strengthen their democracy to stop the kind of things where they cause this kind of coup to happen. I mean, it's been one too many coup across the Sahel. So what's in then they do? They don't look inward to ask themselves questions, to do things so go fit stop this thing from reoccurring. It's going to not happen once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Why is it hard for them to be truthful to themselves, leave politicking and hunger for power aside, and tell themselves the truth onto why are we having these issues repeatedly, and what can we do to stop these repeated issues? Isn't that an ideal thing to do? I'm sorry to ask.
How many people or how many leaders are in ECOWAS? How many of them understand what democracy is? Then when you take it to African Union, how many of them really believe in the people? You have people who all they want is power. All they want is power. So it becomes difficult for them to look beyond their noses. If you look at the wealth around the African countries, and you look at the development that has come to Africa, Precious,
Sir?
with your own experience, are you happy to be an African?
Yeah.
Are you happy to be an African? Let us be very realistic with ourselves. Why do you think Nigerians are in their droves leaving the country? Why do you think they're leaving the country in droves? It is because the African leaders have failed the continent. Bring it back. Well, I mean, we don't even need to go far. Let us bring it back to Nigeria. Nigeria has 33 mineral occurrences, the best you can think of in the world. I'm saying that authoritatively. And these mineral occurrences cut across the entire country. With all these mineral resources, Precious, how are the Nigerian people living? Every day you see trucks from Sokoto down to Nasarawa, down to Jos Plateau, carrying minerals, raw minerals. And these trucks, shamefully, are escorted by Nigerian mobile policemen, armed to the teeth. And these natural resources are shipped out of this country on a daily basis. And your leaders are pretending as if they don't know why we have. Do you know why we have persistent insecurity? Let me talk about our insecurity. The gold they're mining in the north. The illegal mining going on in the north. The governors in the north cannot say they do not know. But their last meeting where they held them, they said they were suspending mining for 6 months. And I said, what mining are you people suspending? Is it that the federal government has been mining in the north, mining our mineral resources, and the people are not benefiting from it? So you have heads of state who do not think about the growth of Africa. They do not think about the growth of their own country. All they think about is how to thief, embezzle, involve themselves in money laundering. They steal from the people. They send it abroad. So how do you expect such people to draw a roadmap for the African nations to develop. That's where the problem is. And that is why when, the Sahel nations came together, the three nations, and said they're breaking out of ECOWAS. Because ECOWAS has failed every African person. Let us start with ECOWAS. You have sit-tight presidents, part of ECOWAS. Have they ever spoken to them to say, the way you guys are running your country, the kind of democracy you're running, is not good for the image of Africa? Have they been able to do that? So bringing it back to Benin and Nigerians' involvement, tomorrow, this thing will haunt Nigerians. Because even if the coup fails, tomorrow somebody will wake up and say, oh, we had bad governance, and when somebody was going to save us, the Nigerian people stopped it. Whether the aircrafts landed, whether you deployed soldiers, so long as you have entered into their territory and they have seen those aircrafts, they will hold Nigerians responsible tomorrow. And then at that particular time, we will not have anything to say because we have infringed on their sovereignty. So I don't know why Mr. President would do that. Mr. President did not consider the fact that 200 million Nigerians are still battling with insecurity in our land. And then you want to now add that of another nation to it. How do we get out of it? Everybody keeps saying, oh, Donald Trump is irrational. Donald Trump. Oh, you have a president that is more irrational than Donald Trump. The only difference is one is white, one is black. And with the American system, the president cannot just do anything. He needs to get approval. In Nigeria, the Senate, the judiciary, everything has been pocketed by the president. So, for me, what you have running in Benin Republic, in as much as you want to call it democracy, it is nothing but dictatorship. That is the system they are running. And so you find that the same African leaders who are running same kind of system in their countries will support such situation. In as much as I don't want anything called military rule, but the politicians themselves are giving room for it. It is the politicians, their lifestyle, their attitude, the way they behave, they are the ones that are calling the military. So when they do it, and it happens, they look for who to blame. They never blame themselves. When you rig election, when you make the election, not transparent, when you stop people from speaking their minds, when you cage the press, what kind of leadership is that? Is that not dictatorship?
All right.
What makes it different from military rule?
So talking about the dictatorship, it's important that we put this into proper context and actually explain to people the reason we even evoke the coup or the coup attempt, assuming say the coup don't fail, or the coup from even taking place in the first place. Now, research on waiting cause a couple of reasons, by the way, because the waiting they call the military, then they accuse the president of mismanaging the country and neglecting the military's fight against jihadist insurgents, because themselves they face some kind issues for their northern region too, just like what they face the same insurgency. Specific grievances and actions will be say then talk about one, then talk say the rebels cite the government's handling of the increasing jihadist insurgency in northern Benin as a major reason for their actions. And then they talk say other critics they also accuse the Talon administration of becoming increasingly repressive, like the 1 year opposition. Just like you said, A lot of journalists and all of that have been pushed back and pushed down. In fact, a recent constitutional amendment extended President Talon's terms from 5 years to 7 years. So he was supposed to do 5 years to double term, 10 years. In 10 years, on the one end now, it can't say no. Now 7 years, double term. So what it means is that as this 10 years end now, it will stay for another 4 years again. Now, this, of course, was seen as a potential power grab by the ruling coalition. So that is by the ruling party. So additionally, the main opposition party's candidate was recently barred from contesting the upcoming elections that will happen next year. That is just the same thing with Cameroon do. By the opposition leader. By the way, the opposition leader for Cameroon, I've been now here say he died for detention because they get to detain him after they banned from contesting the election. And not just Cameroon, I think it's Djibouti that also did the same thing. Bar opposition too from contesting. I don't know why we do this kind of things. So they said the main opposition party's candidate was recently barred from contesting the upcoming elections due to a court ruling on insufficient backing, which contributed to general political grievances in the country. There were also, of course, accusations of economic mismanagement. The soldiers mentioned bad social and economic management as a reason for the attempted coup or the attempt to seize power. In January 2025, 2 of Talon's associates were sentenced to 20 years in prison for an alleged 2024 coup plot, which some analysts point to as part of the country's tense political climate. So the coup ultimately, with what we hear so far, it don't fail, succeed. But there's still tension for inside the country. Now, if all of these accusations will be said to accuse the president, not true. Again, why African leaders and indeed the world they silent about the plight of their people or of the military, where they put their lives on the line to protect the country?
Hold on. Okay. You say why do the world or African world leaders keeping silent? They are beneficiaries of the stealing of the African leaders. They are the beneficiaries. When your leaders in Nigeria steal money, where do they take it to? Do they take it to Ndoki? Or do they take it to Owerri? If they were stealing from Nigeria and using it to develop where they come from, we will understand. But when they steal, where do they take this money to? They take them abroad. When the late Abacha was alive and was stealing, where was he taking the money to? The last time when the DSS or the EFCC invited Malami, for which they took his international passport, was it not because of, they said about 400 billion or whatever, that was linked to Abacha? Where is the money?
So that is recovered loot that was relooted.
It could be. But the truth of the matter is that because these countries are beneficiaries of the stealing in Africa, what's their business? You think they care about you? You think they care about the African people? Because you have leaders. You and I have given up our sovereignty to our leaders. So if our leaders decide to misuse and abuse it, it's a business, it's our business. We are supposed to have institutions that work. And these institutions are supposed to be independent, completely independent of each other. The executive arm of government, the legislative arm of government, the judiciary arm of government, they're supposed to be independent. They should apply checks and balances. But that is not what you have running in the entire African nations. Even the moment you are a 10-year-old is elected president, the first thing he does is to take the legislative arm of government and put under his foot. He takes the judiciary arm of government and put under his armpit. So whatever he says becomes law. You are seeing it playing out in your own country. Nigeria is a country where you have governors who spent 8 years in their state with nothing to show for. They're all in the Senate. That is where they retire to. Then when you call them to come and give account, what happens? You saw how EFCC was running after Yaya Bello. What has happened to it? You saw the one that they invited Okowa. What has happened to it? Why can we in Africa, especially in Nigeria, how many of your past leaders have been probed?
Okay, so Prince Francis Chilaka, also remember that some people, they look at from the angle, say President Tinubu acted well for deploying jets already, because, I mean, you cannot accept any coup around your vicinity, because that's very dangerous for you personally. So
whoever is saying that needs mental health check. Yes.
Okay.
They need mental health check. If America had deployed their own plane like that, how would Nigerians have felt?
But then again, as you talk about the fighter jets, how is it that we can send fighter jets to another country, but we have thousands, hundreds of our people dying every day in the hands of insurgents?
Did you not hear that your fighter jets
and we not deploy fighter jets to them?
Did you not hear that your fighter jet, whether I went on reconnaissance or whether I went on whatever I went, nobody knows. We have not been told what brought it down. So in other words, we seem to have two types of jets. We have the ones that their engine is faulty and everything. They can, once they fly within Nigeria, they come down. And then we have the ones that are very new that you can send to another country. That is what we have.
So we're not getting all Gofi sent to terrorists to kill them.
See, precious, there's something about this, but there's something about leadership in this country that a lot of people are not asking questions. You remember the young Air Force lady that was mysteriously killed?
Yes, I think from Kogi State or so.
Yes. Nobody has asked questions. Nobody has told us the result of the investigation that led to her death. It wasn't that she was driving. It wasn't that she was on the express. Within, I bet the jet when they carry, when go down, whether not for which state when it go down. We need to know the year. Niger State. We need to know the year it was made. We need to know the state of the engine. Why did they send that type of jet to Benin Republic? May go crash land for the airport. For me personally, what our president has done is unacceptable. You are interfering in the internal wrangling of another country. That is what he has done. You are showing that you have military might to invade another country's sovereignty, but you cannot invade Boko Haram, all the terrorists that are tormenting your own citizens. Then it means that there's a hidden agenda. Few names were published the other day by Sahara reporters. Nobody from the government has said anything. Nobody. What kind of message is the government passing? So it shows you we prioritize things that we should not prioritize. The Nigerian government had no excuse doing what they did today. Let's assume that the thing escalates and that jet was shut down. Let's assume that the coup plotters took over everything and shut that plane down. What would you say? Would the federal government drag Nigeria into war? That is why it's always good to think things out before you act. Or how do you think Nigeria would have felt We were talking about coup scar here, that everybody say, oh, there is no coup, there is no coup. But people have been arrested. A former governor has been declared wanted. So let's assume that in the midst of all that brouhaha, Benin Republic sends their fighter jet into Nigerian airspace. What do you think would have happened?
Okay. So, by the way, speaking about the Benin Republic sending their fighter jets into Nigerian's airspace, I don't know if you're aware that representatives of the United States visited Nigeria on a fact-finding mission for waiting get to do with the um,
Genocide.
genocide where they go on for inside Nigeria. Their first stop was, of course, I think that was Benue State, where he visited Benue State. And I think Congressman Riley Moore, now he leads the team, and he did tweet and said that today they reach Nigeria, they stop for Benue State on as part of their fact-finding mission for the genocide against Christians for Nigeria. And then he also did mention that they, that he would of course give us more information on the conversation as time to come. Now, here is a few footage where the Benin State government post on concerning that visit. But just going to that conversation, a delegation from the United States Congress led by Representative Riley Moore of West Virginia, alongside the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State and the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, arrived Nigeria on a fact-finding mission to assess rising concerns over insecurity in parts of the country. By the way, I know let her know say as they just come today, 100 out of the 300 or something, 200 and something children will remain for Niger State's St. Mary's School. They don't release 100. I don't know whether and I don't hear that news. It's a cheerful news. 100 of our children have been released from the bandits with the hope see the rest of them they will feel release them too. So going back to that conversation very quickly, as we did very happy see about 100 of the kids have been released. The delegation paid a courtesy visit to the Benue State Government House in Makurdi, where ongoing debates of the nature and scale of insecurity in the state have drawn international attention. If you remember, the governor of the state had denied vehemently that there is no ethnic genocide in his state, that there is no religious genocide, no genocide at all in his state. Even though people say, come, okay, you're a reverend father. And you had said, but he was also caught saying on national TV before, say people when they commit this crime, first of all, you say a politicians, first you say them from another country. Abi, you know, you had that part that time. Now he's saying no genocide for inside the state. The governor
Precious,
clarified,
please don't. You can say something else. Leave Alia alone. Alia is a confused man. Don't call him Reverend Father. Call him Mr. Alia. Please. When people misbehave, you give them the name their father gave to them.
And so no vex. So that statement when he make when he say I am a reverend father and being in governance does not take away from me. Does not take that away from me. In my state of Benue, we do not have any religious, ethnic, racial, national, or state genocide. We do not have that. What do you mean by that? If you relate them to the and it comes, if you relate them to the number of Benue people waiting for IDP camps, if there is no genocide, why those people not go back to their place?
What he's trying to say is to add credence to what Bishop Kuka said. That even if 10,000 people are killed, it still does not amount to genocide. So when you see people you look up to as spiritual heads talking like toddlers, it shows how compromised people can become when power. That's why they say power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So when somebody like Alia talks, you don't take him seriously. This is the same man who came out after the Yelawata thing to say, oh, that he knows those who are responsible. He's going to publish their names. And we've been waiting. We've been waiting. How many months down the line? How many names has he published? So you just have, like I said, African leaders. It be like say when they enter that office, you get the kind of gogoro or something that they drink. when their whole break or they do like say, you know, they're normal.
All right, sir. So still talking about
I personally am a Catholic, but I'm telling you, I'm disappointed with this set of people.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay, so talking about this, our president, our vice president Kashin Shettima go Cote d'Ivoire at the Ivory Coast, where EBC go come is, go attend the swearing in of the new, the president's, election. So a lot of people they talk say, I mean, I hope I'm sure you saw what played out in the election recently too again, and since 2010, IBC don't do for inside power since 2010. I think 2010, although he was officially sworn in 2011, I think so. So since then, he don't be in power. And again, we know what played out during this election that happened recently again. So people are saying, why is it easy for us not to at least call for proper democratic principles? I mean, make things we supposed to happen democratically happen for inside Africa. Why it be like say most African leaders they tilt towards supporting the status quo the way it take day, even though say they notice say their people don't be visibly tired of that status quo.
This question you ask, Precious. If you ask me, who I go ask? See, in life, it takes somebody who has vision and who has a mission statement to support another person. And to answer this question, I'll take you memory lane. You had the likes in this country, you had the likes of the late Simon Bakwe. You had the likes of the late Chakonde. You had the likes of the late Shagari. You had the likes of the late Abubakaremi. You had the likes of the late Ajasi. Precious,
Sir?
go to where these people come from. Go to their villages and find out how many houses they left behind. Find out how many cars they left behind. Find out how many lands they left for their children, their grandchildren, their children yet unborn. But yet, within a period of 4 years, each of these people I've mentioned, and more that I've not mentioned, were able to turn their states around. You had leaders, people have spent 8 years as governors. They're there in the north, they're there in the south, they're there in the east. What legacy were they able to leave behind? What legacy? So you have a situation where you have leaders who have, like I keep saying, they have no vision, they have no mission, they don't understand what leadership is. All they understand is embezzlement, corruption. And you think that those people will go and support any other thing other than what they look like. And that's what's playing out at the wider environment amongst African leaders. I told you when you started, I said, you have a lot of sit-tight leaders in Africa. Have you seen ECOWAS call them to order? Elections have been held in some of these countries. And you've heard international observers saying these elections are marred with malpractices, they're marred with vote buying, they're marred with corruption. Have you seen ECOWAS stand out boldly to say, "Oga, this is what you do, you don't do well, no. You don't win this election"? Have you seen them protest that when such person is being sworn in, they will say they will not go? No, they will go. They go in solidarity because that's what every one of them want. That's what they want. So there is no way you can see ECOWAS or AU coming out to criticize, because the people making up these organizations are doing the same thing. The ones that are not doing are planning it already.
But there is something,
So
just as we're talking about this. Okay.
Africa has become a country where psychophancy has become the order of the day. Psychophancy pays bills. Bad governance pays bills. Bad leadership pays bills. It's about what you get, what you can steal for your family, what you can steal for your cronies. Listen, each time we talk about African leaders, I bring it back to Nigeria. You've seen governors going to other African nations, going abroad to celebrate their birthdays. At the expense of who? So these are the things that are, these are questions begging for an answer. You see where people point fingers and say, look, mister, you stole money. Have they given account of the money they stole? Have you ever seen AU or ECOWAS telling another member, country member, governor, or president, that what you're doing is wrong? They talk of economic development. Have you ever seen them talk of how to develop Africa? So it's not just about, when you ask these questions sometimes, I just laugh. I say, you're asking questions that you and I know the answer. And the answer is that African leaders are the same. They see their colonial masters as their lords. And they can afford to turn their entire citizens into slaves just to please these their foreign supporters.
All right, sir. Prince Francis Chilaka. So, I think there was something the U.S. Congress said. So, U.S. House Appropriation Committee raised the alarm that Nigeria is rapidly becoming the most dangerous places on earth for Christians to live. The Appropriations Committee disclosed this in a post on X yesterday, Saturday, days after it it convened a joint briefing with the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, members of the Foreign Affairs and Financial Services Committees, to spotlight issues bordering on it, and the Christian genocide in Nigeria. In fact, quoting them, they said Nigeria is rapidly becoming one of the most dangerous places on earth to follow Christ. And as quoting Robert Adhurst noted at a roundtable this past week, we can't ignore this crisis. Now, it added, appropriators will continue to defend liberty and uphold religious freedom across the globe. Now, this followed its joint briefing on Tuesday to gather testimonies on alleged, or what they said, insist that is Christian genocide in Nigeria. So with this one, when they push the US President Donald Trump, of course, we know now what they do. And Ted Cruz still insists say he will push on the bill. A lot of people they worried for this fact-finding mission will be said and come. Some people talk say, I hope they are not just here to perhaps cut a deal with the Nigerian government based on mineral resources. That's what some people are saying. What some people are saying that I hope that one way or the other, there won't be, they no go buy into whatever it is. There is a narrative that is being pushed that indeed Christians are not killed. That they hope they can actually go to the regions or the areas where they're in question. If possible, push to visit those communities where people don't live. Find out why people cannot return from those communities. Go to the IDP camps. Find out why people living in IDP camps cannot go back to their villages. I mean, do something. If they want to do a proper fact-finding mission, they can do that. But make I take your opinion, sir.
When like America is not like Nigeria, but I don't have data that is short of information and all of that. For American president to say what he said, and for the American government to be debating it means that they know what they're saying. Let us not take it for granted. But what you see playing out is what should happen in an ideal environment where there is separation of power, where the legislators know what they're supposed to do and they're doing it. You remember the drama that played out in National Assembly where when retired General Musa, your Minister for Defense, was to be questioned, was to be screened
by the Senate.
Yes. Actually, you remember one or two senators says he should just bow and go. And then you ask yourself, bow and go, meaning what? Nigeria is the only country where if a senator is appointed a minister, he enters the chambers. Instead of them to screen the minister, they say bow and go. So what you see playing out is what should happen in real life. So for me, it's not a matter of whether if you say they want to cut deal with for oil, for mineral resources, is it not the same mineral resources that your government was accusing them that that's why they want to come to Nigeria? Right. Is it not the same?
Let me just know Nigerians know that phone lines are open.
So who's going to cut the deal? It means that the government is already chewing back our own words to say, okay, beg, make una no strike, make una no help us. But you see, whether we like it or not, a lot has been happening since Donald Trump and the American government and the world actually got interested in what's happening in Nigeria.
You're correct. A lot has been
happening. Whoever told you that the Minister of Defense will go? Even as of yesterday, we are hearing that another minister is going. And he's a very powerful, one of the powerful ministers.
All right, sir. Now, talking about insecurity for Nigeria.
Okay.
Talking about insecurity for Nigeria, Nigerians won't bite off the ear of former British Prime Minister Johnson, as he be saying in talk, say he feel very safe for Nigeria. That is Boris Johnson. He saying feels very safe for Nigeria. Can't be like say they downplay the security situation for inside the country. Because
okay, pressure. Don't go further. Hold on. How much was Boris Johnson paid to visit Imo State?
Was he paid?
You know when Fayose told say he paid your former president $25,000 to attend his birthday. So how much was Boris Johnson paid to attend a summit? You see what happened in Imo State. This summit that happened in Imo State was just for me, it was just the governor looking for relevance. Now, part of the propaganda. Make it be say, during his time, he invite former British Prime Minister, and he come. But they will not tell you how much they spent for PR, inviting him. Now, he paying flight tickets. The other minister, I pay. What are we talking about? And when a man has collected, when you put honey inside a man's mouth and he does not spit it out, he will follow you go anywhere where he follow you go now. What our governor has done with Boris Johnson, is it not what Ron Omokri wanted to do with Arnold? You think we have forgotten so soon?
All right, sir. So let me quickly just touch on some insecurity conversations around Nigeria very quickly, and then we open the phone lines. Just to let you know, Nigerians, the phone lines are open. Please feel free to call 0817029477. That's a direct line to call. 0817029477. We hear say Nigerian Air Chief visit pilots, then we be say safely come out for inside the plane, we be say crash, and they can't heal them, say they do a very good job. Well. And then, a few of other issues. I mean, somebody did say that one of the reasons we make it be so waiting they happen for Sahel, they happen. Say if Nigerians say Nigeria they decline regionally because say na Nigerian decline and because of plenty cool really happen. By the way, let's just let that go because we already exhausted that conversation. We hear say bandit attack Sokoto community, leave multiple people dead and several others injured. IPOB don't declare, say Southeast they safe for Christmas, so you don't tell Ndi Igbo, so make them come back home from home and abroad. Say nothing they happen, nothing they do them. And somebody who spoke, from the prisons talked about the unusual prisoner in Sokoto that they have, which is in Namdekani. It's an interesting read, by the way, but I don't have time to talk about that. There's also this conversation around how people they pay 35 million naira to use Getty Street named after them. And guess what? The money is paid into a private account, not government account. And people are worried that what's going on and
I
the kind
hope,
of
I hope,
racketeering will
I
be
hope
happen.
your uncle, your uncle is aware.
That is what I'm saying. But part of Tommy don't suggest say make we use drones to monitor Nigerian highways because of the level of kidnappings and all that really happen. And then ADC don't talk, say the comment where Okobelo make, say it revealed the conspiracy theory if it happen and waiting them talk. Say no be just careless statement, say you did disturbing. That is waiting Okobelo talk, say insecurity, waiting happen to Jonathan and it happen for Tinubu. So make them no worry. Say Tinubu go back come on because in no be Jonathan. By the way, talking about Jonathan, I think Abubakar visit Jonathan. Mhm. So people they talk say all this one are part of deal to strike deal against 2027 because ADC right now they vex well for Peter Obi. They tell him say, Oga, we need the zone go anywhere. If you want to join the party, join. If you need to join the party, make you leave. We know the zone go anywhere. While other people don't they accuse ADC of actually being a party where they push a jihadist agenda or northern agenda. Because I mean, what is so difficult for you to actually zone if you have had a northerner rule for 2 years, for 8 years, and another Muslim rule again for another 4 years? Whether they day your party or not, for the sake of balance, if you actually want the good of the nation, why not zone it to where BC feel likely get a Christian majority? With
Okay,
control.
before
Sir,
I'll talk about that, but let me talk about this sudden release of 100
school children.
children, school
Mm.
children.
And
You
there's
know,
something Sarah K. Dixon also said, though, because just before you know, because he accused the
let me
APC of
finish.
politicizing corruption, terrorism, and
Yeah,
other
I,
serious national issues.
I'm
So
going to
if you can
somewhere.
just link that
Brother,
together. All
I'm
right.
going to somewhere.
Okay, sir.
A few days back, the National Security Advisor, no Ribadu, when he went to visit the parents, after the parents organized their protest and all of that, he said the children were doing fine and that the children will soon come home. And then we started asking, if that means you know where they are, because that's the import of that. You know where they are. Few days after, 100 children have been released. It simply shows you that, yes, the government has, to a large extent, has a hand in all this shenanigans that is going on. The children, under what condition were they released? What was the negotiation? If there was negotiation, who was involved in the negotiation? But this is Nigeria, where you don't get to ask questions, you don't get to seek opinions. Whatever the government says to you, just take it and go and rest. It is really, really sad. But I'm happy that the children have been released. I'm also wondering why they didn't release all of them at the same time. They should have released all of them at the same time. So why didn't they release all of them? On the other hand, I'm happy that we still have a voice in somebody like Dixon, who keeps speaking truth to power, despite the fact that we can say that he dines and eats with them, and they drink wine together. But in the midst of all of that, he keeps telling them the truth. If only the government will hear and do the needful. Now, talking about ADC and Peter Obi, I think personally also, it is high time that Peter Obi decides where he belongs. It's very, very important. It's important for him. It's important for those of us who believe in him, who support him. It's very, very important.
So
Now,
are you this? Okay, go ahead, sir.
coming to ADC.
Okay.
I've said this to some people that are up there in ADC, and I'll say it again. ADC will commit a political suicide if they zone their presidency to the north.
If they don't zone it and they make it open and their presidential candidate is the northern,
If whatever they do and their candidate turns out to be the north, let me tell you, Precious, go home and sleep. Bola Tinubu will come back a second term. As I sit here, if ADC gives their ticket to the north, I will vote APC. I don't believe in injustice. The South, as they call us, we have 8 years. They should allow the South to live out their 8 years, just as the South allowed the North to do their 8 years. If after the South has done their 8 years, and they want to say this gentleman agreement can no longer hold, good. But before then, like I keep saying, any peace devoid of justice is peace of the graveyard. And the ADC should know that they are sitting on a very tight rope. They should know that. And our Nigerians are watching. Whatever they are trying to do, if they make the mistake of giving their ticket to anybody from the north, I am telling you, ADC will not win that election.
Well said. Thank you, sir. All right, Nigeria's phone lines are open. Let's have you, bring in your thoughts and reactions very quickly. There's still quite a lot of conversations to cover that we're unable to cover, unfortunately. But let's start taking your calls. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Hello. I'm fine, but your network they off, they come back on. Waiting they happen.
This time I called you. What's going on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I think it's your village people. You never give them drink.
All right, I'll give them drinks.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Prince. Good evening, Prince. How are you, sir?
I greet you, my brother. I did fine.
All right, let me just chook my small. One, talking about, what is his name? Purpose or danger or whatever they pronounce his name. The economic summit they brought to Imo State is a fluke. It just lies. Precious, can you remember when he was during the time of politics? That was before he got the second term. He told the people of Imo State that is it 100 will be either 1,000 or 100 of them will be sent abroad to study.
Yes, so during the second time,
I've tried to ask one or two people from Imo State. Prominent. It is a prominent guy that joined his team. He has come back. He has come back to Dallas here. The guy could not penetrate their ranks. So the guy was telling me I should forget about Hope. Hope is just a propagandist. So let's forget about him. That I asked him, what about the 100 people or 1,000 or 500 people he promised to send abroad to further their studies? He said even one has not even gone anywhere. So bringing an economic summit to Imo State is a fluke. In the next 5 months, 6 months, go and ask question again. You won't even hear anything concerning that. It's just propaganda, just to tell us that it's working. It's doing nothing. That's by done. And then the fact-finding mission from America. I'm beginning to have doubts about what's going on. I mean, yeah, they put pressure on Tinubu to do one or two things, which maybe he has been doing, but we've not been seeing the result. It's just that they are not being proactive. They are just running helter-skelter. But for America coming to like fact-finding mission, they knew what was going on or what has been going on. So I don't know the kind of fact-finding mission again they are coming for. I mean, they know, America knows what is going on in Nigeria. They have their technology. So their fact-finding mission, I don't know. I'm beginning to doubt this, whether it's just for them to come and negotiate. And still a lot of people being by, you know. Madam Pressure, I'm scared about this. I don't know what is going on. Honestly, I won't tell you lie. The first call is just to go and visit that so-called Reverend Father who is rubbishing himself because of his selfish interest. That's it. And then coming to Prince Chilaka say that Peter Obi should just make himself available to any of the platform. Prince Chilaka, I won't agree with you on this because Peter Obi is being monitored by the federal government. Wherever he put his step, they want to go and destroy everything. They've destroyed Labour Party. So he is being very careful not to just, pronounce a particular party he wants to join. And Atiku and ADC, they know what they're doing. I think they are on the side of Tinubu, the way I'm seeing it. So if Atiku really won, he said, we were hearing before that because of Wike, that was why he joined PDP. Now is the time for him to, align himself with Peter Obi, so that Peter Obi can go further by, mobilizing the North, so that they can, if he loves Peter Obi the way he claimed, or he loves Ndibo. So you see, I'm beginning to agree with Wike that Atiku is just selfish.
Thank you.
You see what he's doing. He has brought all the 36 state chairmen to come and visit him, or he visited them, or he brought them together. It shows that he really still wants to vie for the next presidency. So he's not being straightforward. So for Peter Obi, I think the kind of politics he's playing is still okay. It's not yet bad. He still has followers. By the time he will settle all the situation and join a political party, people will still follow him, but he doesn't want it to be polluted if he join any political party now. So once he joins, the federal government, the Tinubu will send his boys again to destroy that party. So that's the way I'm seeing it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So thank you so much for all that you're doing. God bless you.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Good night. All right. Okay, phone lines are still open 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call. T.Y. Danjuma. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Precious. Good evening, Prince. How are you?
Welcome. Make I just Oga German join us. Oga German. German honor. Good evening and welcome. Did you run away? Oh, you wanted to join when I brought you in. You ran away. Why? How did you run away? All right. T.Y. You don't see your country, Abi. How far?
Rishi, every day with something new they happen.
He did the book one day. Have you ever heard of one day, one trouble? One week trouble. Okay.
that looks like that would be an appropriate description of what's happening in Nigeria. All kinds of things going on. Quickly, let me just talk about we never finished talking about the Nigeria Air Force plane will crash on whatever mission it was going to. And now we're talking about our aircraft to go to report. When your house is on to go for Shurat. This was exactly what happened in Niger. But for the outcry, Nigeria was prepared to be used by France and possibly America to go and interfere in the internal affairs of another country.
Why do you think why you think in another country they tell Nigeria to do those things? Why do you not believe that we have the capacity to take our own decisions?
We know that there are some relationship between Nigeria of today and France, and we know that France was very bitter the way they kicked their ass out of Niger. America was also not too happy because it has spent a lot of money to set up in a monitoring a drone monitoring unit, in the Sahel, basically in Niger. I mean, two places in Niger, and then to dismantle it, would be a lot of money wasted, and for which it was set, would have been defeated. So, if it wasn't for the outcry by, Nigerians generally to say, listen, we don't see any reason why you should be bothered with, you should go and invade a friendly country because of a coup issue. Maybe who knows what would have happened. But Nigeria was willing to deploy its resources to do all that. But is unwilling to deploy the same force, the same speed to deal with the crisis, insecurity crisis that it's been having. Now, but my problem is really that now it's okay to intervene in the affairs of other countries, but it is not okay to intervene in your own country. So understand the rationale behind that. If you feel that a country is doing bad and you have a right to go and whip them, you are doing bad, no country has the right to come and say, no, what you're doing is wrong. I don't see the logic in it.
Country? Are we not a sovereign nation?
Just the same way those other countries you want to go and invade, are sovereign.
Tiwa, just help me hold your thought. Make I talk to Oga John first. Oga John, good evening and welcome.
Hello, please, I'm the one online.
I know now. Shabina John is be your name.
German is my
name. German. Oh, German, good evening and welcome. Welcome, sir. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
This is my first time of joining the show.
Thank you. I don't get shekere. I will just play for you.
Honestly,
welcome.
I'm enjoying your show, but I don't know how to contribute on the show.
Oh, stop it. I like it. Stop it. I like it.
Whether financially or opinion-wise.
For financially, no worry, you go give me money, but I they won't give people money on January 1st, my birthday. And for the past 2 decades, I did begin the year with charity. And this year we agree, so we'll reach out to IDPs so that we'll let them enjoy Christmas small. So when the time come, I will give our number so that you can support them. That now we will make me happy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've been following your program.
Thank you, sir. Like my village people.
Like serious.
Oh, chim. So they send you from Undoki land.
I'm from Delta State.
Okay. Yes, it's okay. Now the same thing now will be now.
So
go ahead.
I want to contribute on this show.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Your life on air.
I've read a lot about the history of Nigeria, and I think I'm just 30 years, but I know a lot about Nigeria. There are some questions that you people were struggling to provide answer for yesterday, with your guests, especially the one that just spoke now that left.
He never left today. He writes.
You know, left. The question is, he was asking the difference between IPOB and the marauders in the north. Isn't that the question yesterday?
Well, one of the questions. He did ask quite, some questions. But that was one of his questions. One of his poses.
One of the questions. And he also asked, why is it that such things keep on reoccurring? Is it in the north or entirely in Nigeria? I don't know how he put it, but I want to put the answer. I don't want to be diplomatic in my word. I want to put the answer categorically clear. You see, when the elite in the north talk, especially was in power, he always tells us that the remnant of armed escalation in Libya was the reason of contributed to the insecurity in the north. So a lot of media swallow those lies without asking, probing deeper into that claim. But what I want to say is that there is two law that is guiding the nature, life in general. You cannot escape it either by religious wise or whatever. This law is law of homogeneities and law of sowing and reaping. In other words, you cannot sow cassava and expect to reap
cocoyam. Just go ahead.
So even if you gather 100 prayer warrior or juju, so and again the law of homogeneities stated that birds of the same feather flock together, and that has always been how it is. You can never working.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that extremism that we are talking about that emanate from the Sahel, maybe from Libya or where have you, they find a fertile ground in northern Nigeria, and that is why they were those things were able to germinate, and we are reaping it. You understand? It's not difficult this thing is not difficult to understand. This thing is an ideology issue. Ideology has to do.
So your line is breaking. It's breaking and coming back. So it may make the conversation not the flow. So your line they break. Try look whether you go follow that link. Make you join us through the link. Yeah. Whether you go do better.
Okay, when I should
there is a link in the pinned post. That link will bring you to the studio. Try to see if you can join us live in the studio.
It's telling me to join through the video.
Absolutely. You can turn off your video and just turn on only your audio. So that we can hear you properly. Because it will break here.
Let me try.
All right then. Thank you very much. All right. So TY, no vex. So say he be landlord now. Make I talk to the brother. Make I break protocol, talk to my Ogoni brother.
Good evening.
Thank you. Welcome.
Prince Chilaka, my personal person. My favorite analyst.
I greet you.
I say make I TY, thank God say you there here today. Hey Prince, make I clearly dispute what happened yesterday. Do not pack all of us. No pass all of us in that TY analyst yesterday, because I Precious, you didn't open the door for me yesterday. Their backyard, I want to enter that house yesterday. How would you try to my brother TY, please. Crime is crime. All this one, what would they describe? Headsmen, these are my brother, listen. I think Precious has played this video several times. Ebudaya, that man that said he went to and he spoke with some of the leaders of this Boko Haram, and bandits and Boko Haram are one and the same. That's his word. One and the same. I have there's no way we'll go there. They break them down. Oh, this one S-men, this one they do this one they do that. Now, like, as far as I know, and what I said, I will recommend you go and watch a documentary called The Ring of Power. Or you can also upload the other one called Zeitgeist. And you understand, this is a plan. There's nothing, no two ways about what is going on in Nigeria. Do not separate this thing where they happen. I cry every day because I know my Benue friends, Plateau brothers, and I know what they are going through. There is no reason why these people are hiding behind religion. I mean, honestly speaking, without religion, these Fulani people, I will call their name. If we can handle them well, Nigeria, if we don't handle them well, Nigeria, they go. And let me speak on this whole thing about America, this, America that. Even like people don't understand what in America they do. And I'm praying, Prince Chilaka, please help me do this. They have done the best they could do. by awakening us. All we have to do as a people is to put our foot down. All this they pinch and dig-dallying with all these names. Name don't come out this and this and that. We are playing around. Remember, on a mention I'm here, when that young lady where they say she they kill Boko Haram well, somebody said he was driving on a base and just the way they describe and say the person drive past him, can't recognize I come back or back into. Come on now. We drive every day. How fast can you back up into someone walking and you kill that lady because she was killing Boko Haram? After that, they went into NDA till today. There is no investigation on that matter. The NDA, the most sacred military facility in Nigeria, was broken into and killed a military officers, and nothing happened till this day. And here we are, just touching base and this and this and that. Listen, let me call waiting to be. This waiting that happen. We know these people. See why you are in the Western world. You can read with that. You can access so many information when people were there on ground. They are not. Some things I know they like to talk on for this place. Me, I don't go through this thing well. See Benin where they happen. So I live in Benin Republic for 3 years. Light no they go. Electricity they were announced if they are taking electricity. That Benin way you see. The only problem where they've been getting at their docility, they are very docile. They drink kakai pass anybody. This one they call us Sorabi. They drink them. They only have 2 jobs in Benin. Either they are teachers or police. That's their job. The rest now cyclists and the rest just sit down. So me I no expect say this will happen now, meaning that people don't open eye. If we like as Nigerians, more just sit down. Look at what's happening. Me I get my own fight here at the pool. I know if you talk and here because you know how this in there say we could not take our time. Prince Silaka, I beg, anytime that you are trying to gather people, say those of you in abroad, my brother, I live 15 minutes away from downtown Atlanta. I spend more vacation in Nigeria than going to downtown Atlanta. So I know what thing that happen for grand. So carry TY matter, put for one corner. I'm not supporting for that matter yesterday. I see how you come up, you blow up like this. Pressure just chill. My sister, I beg, when this fire come, just come out. We'll go first and for you. See why? Package yourself well. Do not redefine crime. This our our former president.
To have his opinion.
Our former president. Our former president told this. No, remember when Jonathan said, if we stop giving this whole crime better name, like fancy name, like corruption, this, that, other, like when America call people lobbyists are but people they bribe. Let's not give this thing where they happen fancy name. Forget. These are criminals. They are terrorists. Make we treat them that way. So anybody, if now my brother there among go do nonsense, we go kill them. So what do you want to ask me?
Okay, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But you know what I'll say to you? Go to ChatGPT. Go to ChatGPT or go to Germany. And then ask question. What is terrorism? What is banditry? What is insurgency? If when you find the answer tomorrow, make you come, make you tell us what you find. Wait, you don't talk now. I sent something to Precious. I think yesterday or today morning. You know, I don't know whether I get time to read them. So you go and you read it, and then you just oppose them with the things when I talk, and then tomorrow when you come, we talk.
See, I'm not going to talk about. I said crime is crime. I'm not going to define anything.
I suggest you just let this be, and let's move on with
okay
today because I have.
No, I just want because we play with fire. I hope you understand that people are dying. Oh, you see, people are dying in that middle belt.
Who's playing with fire?
Okay, no, Precious will let them go. We don't let them. Are they listening? Are they on the listen? Thank you. Make I let other people talk.
I appreciate. Good evening and welcome. Good evening and welcome, sir.
Yeah, my name is Wilson Obasoye from Benin City, Nigeria. I don't do Bodo here now for about 26 years and counting.
Oh, wow. All right, welcome. How your side?
So, I did fine with thank God. Nigeria is a very I'm very passionate about that country.
We all are passionate about this country. We all are.
I'm telling you, there would have been no other country on earth. In fact, there's no country more blessed than Nigeria. In terms of what we have on the ground, in terms of human resources, you name it. Anything you want to name, you know. But it's so sad. It saddens my heart. You know, even though I'm very busy here, I follow the trend here so much. And the thing is, I always talk truth to power. Even my high school format, I was that I belong to. I went to ICC in Benin and I went to Univen. So we debate this political thing once in a while. The thing is, I was following this Nigeria sending fighter jet to the Benin Republic.
Yes.
My thing is, I didn't get the whole detail. To start with, my question is, were they invited or did they just go on their own? If they went on their own, that is intrusion into a sovereign nation that Nigeria always pick against.
But Nigeria and ECOWAS, including AU, they stand by the president's talon. And they've made that announcement that they stand by the president's talon. Anything we get to do with could no good. No, before ECOWAS announced the decision, we hear say Nigeria been done saying true. But by the time they find us a bit of stability today, they can't retrieve their truth. Some people they talk say there was some explosion in some areas where they suspect say can I explain, sir? Can I explain, sir?
Okay.
Some people they talk say there were some explosions in some areas where they like say those military officers will conduct those coup day. And people were referring that those explosions will be strikes from Nigerian fighter jets will go there. But meanwhile, others they talk say no. Nigeria been sent jets, but as in say President Talon don't regain the power, nothing happened, the coup no succeed, they successful, then call back their fighter jets. So that the accusation that Nigeria actually bombed or anything is untrue. But yes, indeed, they agree that they sent out their jets. Their fighter jets.
Wow.
All right.
That is amazing.
Then they recall them back later.
The quarrel with that now is, I wish with the same kind of momentum they send the jets there, that they have been able to do the same internally to to neutralize this insurgency. It's very, very sad how these people in government continue to play games. And it's so obvious to the world, especially thank God for this day and age of social media. If not like before, where government would just they had only a sole access to the media. Oh my God! Only God would imagine what would have been swept under the carpet. But despite everything being so obvious to the eye, these people are still doing some things that beg for imagination. So, my sister, that one is that, and then this issue of insurgency. Do people not just see the hierarchy in the world? This thing is being perpetrated by nothing but one major tribe, so-called Fulani. They are the one. And then again, if you want to think of any other thing religious-wise, is the Islamic radicalization. And then the agenda to grab land, occupy the country, and turn it to an Islamic nation. That is it. The fact is, the Fulanis, Satanas and other sleepy people, like the Yorubas, I cannot believe how big and vast the Yorubas are. And they still play second fiddle to these Northerners. It's annoying. Okay? The thing is, until we exterminate the Fulanis from governance,
but that will be unfair. You cannot say that you want to exterminate a group of people. If they exterminate Benin people from governance, go like them now.
But the fact is, these are people causing a problem, the backwardness of that country. Let's speak to the fact. I'm sorry to say that, but it is the truth. But the Hausas of the north are supposed to be the biggest tribe in northern Nigeria. But I blame them for allowing these foreigners to conquer them, sit on top of their head, and from there have the confidence to start intruding. Their incursion into the south. I know they were briefly stopped in the Middle Belt, and then of course the south stopped them. And And they are thinking that their former leader, Osman Afodio, told them that Nigeria is a gift for them, according to their Allah. That is the cause they are fighting today. And it is not out of a place to know that our former leader, the late whatever his name, he was the one that actually massively imported these people, encouraged them to come in. We all know those facts. So the fact is, one tribe and one major tribe only are the ones perpetrating all this under the guise of different bodies, Boko Haram, Aswap, whatever. These guys are largely foreigners. Okay, yes, people say they are good Fulanis. But again, one major, the whole country. I was watching yesterday, I was watching some YouTube video showing satellite monitoring of locations of all these Fulani terrorists where they have settled in mountainous places and bushes all around the place. That is very scary. So why is it that nobody is talking about how to tackle this problem? Everybody just be rhetorical, and it has been proven time and time again that most of these sponsors are within the government, highly placed officials, elements within the military, and then you hear about we have a repentant terrorist. Who does that? Can so-called captured terrorists and integrate into the army? My sister, I don't know. I'm just appalled. So my question now is the American delegation that has landed in Nigeria. Are they going to be given free hand to go and tour actual places where this mayhem have been going on? Are they going to be allowed to visit IDP camp? That is one major evidence on the ground of people being massacred and displayed. These people were fortunate to even hold their lives. Then are they able to let them go to the grave site where that preacher has been showing videos? Let them go and look at the grave site. Let them go to these villages where people have been driven away from. Let them take them to church sites.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So that is my point.
Thank you.
People should be encouraged. They should encourage them to go to this site.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
If they're really on the five-minded mission.
Thank you. It's already 1 a.m. here, so I have to release Prince Francis Chilaka. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. TY, let me let you wrap up so that we can release Prince Francis.
Yeah. If you look at the trend in West Africa, it looks like there's the wind of a coup sweeping across the
whatever is
Sahara.
blowing that wind should not just blow it near our Nigeria. We don't want that.
No, but it's all around you. The only place where it never happened is Cameroon. We have seen in Benin, we have seen in Niger, we have seen in Chad, even though that one don't transmute to a civilian president. We have seen now a failed one in Benin. So all around the neighbors where they surround you, apart from Cameroon, and the democracy there is shaky, you know that. So, and then we have seen in Nigeria itself. So, but there must be a critical question that you have to ask. What is causing this move all around this whole area? What's happening? We've seen in Mali, we've seen, and one thing that you find out is that there's the French, some amount of French troops stationed in Benin. Although they deny it, but it has been a source of tension between Benin and Niger. Niger had to cut relationship with Benin because of that. So the question is, why those French troops? Why didn't they intervene? Why must it be Nigeria that is going to intervene? And for what reason? So even though you may say a justification, because in June 21st, 2025, Benin entered into some agreement. President Talon entered into some agreement with our president. But it wasn't a defense pact. It was just part of the ECOWAS protocol of defense, of promoting trade and all, and cooperation and also and all that, and so on and so forth. But the point that I want to, the instability all around countries that has, whether political, whether security-wise, whether is insurgency, all around neighbors around Nigeria, is troubling. And then if you just oppose it, what is happening in Nigeria, there's serious problem that is coming. And then unless we take out foreign influence and whoever is pushing them, who is behind all these things, and then deal with those issues, not foreign people go dictate to us what we will go do. They're not France, because
Thank
France they vex, say they don't drive and come out the way that they chop, they know they see them again, and they find a willing friend in Nigeria. I don't know what in Nigeria they benefit from them. That is not the way to go.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stewart and Jama. Appreciate it. Like I see whether hey Jama, if you want to talk something, Jama, no vex. Time don't go. If you can make it quick, because I need to release Prince Francis, sir. Please, Jama, just go ahead if you can make it
Okay.
2 minutes so that we can release Prince Francis Chilaka, please.
All right.
All right,
Am
Jama,
I
go ahead.
on?
Go ahead. Yes, you are on. Go ahead.
I said, okay. All right. Regarding what I was saying is that what gives rise to all these shenanigans that is playing in the north from the from the 80s
Mm.
when we were born, before we were born. See, this is because the north provide a fertile ground for all these religion extremism to thrive. You
So
understand?
please say not.
If we are talking,
Not get the way they Mm.
if we are talking about remnant, I don't have a good network here, but I don't know whether my voice is coming out.
It is coming out as long as you keep it to 1 minute, because Prince Francis is really tired and he needs to retire, please.
All
So
right.
just help him hurry up.
So we have yes, we have other neighboring West African countries that are even more closer to Libya that not and all these things are not happening there. So because over the years, the kind of religious ideology that has been coming from the north, especially the early, is what is fueling this, and it's not going to go away very soon because it has been embedded as part of their culture and religious doctrine, even though it's not find anywhere or in other this in other same clan that is practicing Islam. So as long as they continue with this their barbaric Sharia whatever, this thing will not go away. And even if this current Boko Haram is defeated, another deadly one are going to emerge in future because they provide this fertile ground for all these things to germinate and to keep on growing.
How did they provide the
You
fertile
understand?
grounds? Why it
They
is they use
provide the
water?
fertile provide the fertile ground by promoting extreme. You
Okay, all right,
understand?
thank you. You
Religious
don't talk a man, you don't
extremism.
do make we just close shop, no vex, make I release our people. It's 1
Okay.
a.m. here. I beg you don't be very late. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Jama. Hoping to hear from you next time, I beg. Ensure you
All
join
right.
us
Bye
here
bye.
as often as you can, yeah.
Thank,
Thank you.
thank
Thank you so much. Prince Francis, a sincere apologies for keeping you so late. I didn't intend to. Thank you so much. Do you have something to say before we run? Thank you so much. See you again on Friday. And I know say by then most people don't come out to go discuss about. I appreciate you big time. Good night and God bless you, sir. Thank you. All right. Nigerians, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you for, of course, always, having such a great and insightful conversation with you guys. Make we continue to talk for the growth and development of not just Nigeria, but Africa at large. And let's say the truth when we say it as a day. My name is Precious Amy. Oh, don't forget, I hope that, well, looking forward to having Majid Dahiro tomorrow. Hopefully, I just hope that we'll not reschedule that conversation. But let's be very optimistic to see happen. Not tomorrow, this evening, because it's already 1 a.m. I love you guys. Protect your mental health because Wahala need to finish. If you never follow us across social media, what are you waiting for? We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all at Precious Amy TV. Precious Amy TV across all these platforms. And I just a click now. Just go click, follow us like a village people. That's all. You're not paying money. 1 naira you need to pay. For instance, e.g., for example, this particular post now, you could just like them, share them. That's all. Like, share. That's all. You need to pay money. You need to cost you any money. It's not subscription based. Why are you doing like this now? Share it. Let people hear what is going on. Let people get access to pure undiluted news. With a balance them. If we give these people, we give these people. Eyendeba. That's what we do for River State. And not exactly like the person who sang that song. I love you guys. Good night and God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Protect your mental health. Good night.